Hey everyone, Rock DIY here. Today, what I have here is the battery that I ordered for my 2016 Land Rover LR4 HSE SC V6. And in the past, I would purchase the actual start-stop or eco battery. I've bought it twice and it's 2024 right now. Got it in 2017. I had to replace it twice. Then I finally just said I'm done with it because it seems like it's just going dead way too fast. So instead of buying the regular Land Rover battery, what I did do is buy the Exide battery. It's a ETK 151 battery. I just got it today and I believe it came from Riga, Latvia. I ordered it on 29 February and got it on 5 March, so 6 days to get here. Now, open it up. I want to say it's actually on its side, but I don't know for sure. Side is up and I can't trust the print on it. This battery was purchased for a total of $158. That included the price of the battery, the tax. I know that some people have said they got it a lot less than that. Of course, that was in the past. Things are a little more expensive now, but 158 versus $300, $400, $500, $600 is a whole lot better. And I want to say in the past, when I purchased the Land Rover batteries and I installed them myself, because Land Rover will charge you an arm and a leg to install a battery. It costs you just as much for the battery as it will for labor. So that's why I went this route. But one of the things is, I'm almost positive when I've replaced the battery in the past, I didn't have to do anything. Even after the battery went dead, the eco light came on and it stayed on while the battery was dead. I've taken the battery out of the car. The car has still functioned as it normally will or would, and no issues whatsoever. But this time, because I didn't necessarily capture it in the past, is I want to show that you can take a battery, put it back in the car, and I believe when I put it in the car in the past, all I did was disconnect the old one, take the old one out, put the new one in, just connect the cables, and then took it out for a drive, brought it back, and by the time I came back, everything was normal again. No eco light or anything. All right, so battery is in on its side. It is padded really good. A lot of styrofoam. They definitely made sure it didn't rattle around in the box. They put it in a big enough box, and they did wrap it quite a bit in plastic. All right, positive on the left, negative on the right. It's 12 volts, 15 amp hours, and 200 amps. Of course, it's an Exide battery, start-stop auxiliary battery, EK 151, and it's made in China. Do not see any leakage on here. There is a little packet on the side of it. All right, and then you can also see that there is the venting hole right there for the venting tube that goes on there. So I don't see any damage, looks good. One of the things I do want to do before I do anything else is check it to make sure that the battery is charged. More than likely may not be, but could have some charge in it. I'm gonna check the voltage now. All right, voltage is 12.87, so that's pretty good. If it was not charged as much as it is, I would have put it on the charger before I put it in the car, because that could be part of the issue why the eco light doesn't go out. is that if the auxiliary battery is not fully charged, sometimes could potentially mean that it's not being detected because of the low voltage. The next step is going to be, which I should have done from the get-go, I'm going to do a comparison. I got to go get the other battery and compare it to this one just for size. Here are both batteries next to each other. This is the new one, this is the old one. As I stated earlier, this is the Exide EK151 battery, and this is the original. Well, it's not the original, but it is a Land Rover battery, and this is the CX23-10C655-AC 12 volt 14 amp hours 200 amps. So the only difference is this is 15 amp hours and this is 14 amp hours. Other than that, size wise, exactly the same. I am going to remove this battery and put the new battery in, and then go from there. I am going to put this blanket on the new battery. Vent plug. All right, new battery is ready to go in. Okay, here we go. Putting the new battery in. New battery is in, and the way that you know whether you got the battery in where it needs to go is put this hold down clamp on. You'll have to move it around a little bit, but this hold down clamp sits right on the edge of the top portion, so it's kind of how you know whether it's in the right spot or not. Alright, and then you got to put the 10mm bolt back in at the bottom. You do want to make sure you tighten that down good, because if you don't, you'll hear it rattling around all the time. Putting the ground cable on, and then I'm going to put the positive on. This little plastic cap was attached there at one point, but it's come off, so. All right, those are on. I can put this back on. In most cases, I would put grease on these connectors, but this stays sealed up all the time, so no real reason for it. Now that that is done, this cover can go back on here, and then this cover will go back on. Battery is in. I just finished putting in the auxiliary battery for the eco function, and I'm going to start it up now and see whether the eco light shows up there. All right, so as has happened in the past multiple times. The eco battery light has disappeared. Didn't have to do anything other than put the battery in, and I think the reason why the eco light may stay on is because the auxiliary battery is not fully charged when it's put in. But all I did was put it in, and the eco light is gone. Don't necessarily have to take it in and get the BMS reset. I've seen on a lot of forums and videos where people have said that they've paid an arm and a leg to have the battery, well, they put the battery in, but then the eco light stays on, so they have to take it in. Of course, they have to wait for an appointment, leave it there, and then they reset the light for them. So there you go. No issues and ready to go. If you do put the new auxiliary battery in and the eco is still showing up there, just make sure you go to your button here and make sure it says eco stop start is on, unless you want it off. Things to be aware of is, so if you replace the auxiliary battery and you get in your car and you start it up and you still see the eco light, don't be too concerned yet. Sometimes it turns off right away, sometimes it does. But one way to remedy that is to start the car, turn the car off, start the car, turn it off. You may have to do that several times. And then in some cases, you may have to drive it a little bit and then it will shut off. So that's the first one. And then the other thing is, let's just say you get the eco light to go out after you put the auxiliary battery in, but the actual start stop eco function isn't working. One, you do have to drive the car in order to figure that out. So the best thing to do is take the car out for a drive, but don't expect it to start doing the start stop function whenever you stop at a stop sign or a light. It may take a little while, and then eventually the actual start stop eco function will work. It is really hard to see right now, but I am in eco mode, and you can tell because of the green circle with eco in it.